No. No worries, I've got a timer going, so yeah. It is the way forward.
It is the way forward. Are we ready, Mehdi?
We are good, and I like it on my Rice Krispies.
Cool. How is everybody this evening? Are we all good?
Yeah, so.
Cool. So, before we do a kind of a recap of last session, something that Sorentar pointed out around advances. So, historically, if you look at the old Explorers edition, roughly speaking, you'd get 2 XP per session, or thereabouts. And there is no place in the character sheets that you have access to record XP. There is just a place to record advances. And so the recommendation typically is to give you 1 advance per session, especially if it's a shortish campaign. I'm anticipating this game to be probably 12 sessions long. I think we're session 3 this week, Mehdi?
4.
4. Yeah, so maybe 15 sessions long then. And then we'll try something different probably at that point. Who knows? Or if we're all enjoying it, we will continue. Anyway, so I'd like you all to give yourself 2 advances.
Not sure we can we?
How do we do it? Do I have a table? Maybe I've got something there. Let me have a look before everybody starts adding advances to character sheets.
Yeah, it wouldn't let me anyway. I've
got it on. I've got it on my about. It says novice, 1 new edge.
Yeah.
Unless that's just notes, is it?
I'm wondering if there is.
Oh, there is a plus add advance on the about bit.
There you go.
Does that? So does it count? No, that's the thing. Does it? And it does. I thought there'd have to be a number at the top, and that would allow you to click add. Because it was greyed out, I thought, oh, I can't click it. Right, okay, makes sense.
When you go, yeah. So when you go to your advances, and click 1 onto there, it allows you to. I guess it allows you to decide what your advances are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay, so your options. So I've just shared those with everybody. There's in the rules and other things, there's an advancements page. So your options are this. Per advance, you can gain a new edge. You can increase a skill that is equal to or greater than its linked attribute, 1 die type. You can increase 2 skills that are lower than their linked attributes by 1 die type each, including new skills that you didn't have before at D4. Increase 1 attribute by a die type. This can only be taken once per rank. Permanently remove a hindrance or remove a major hindrance to a minor with the GM's permission and if it makes sense. With the GM's permission and if it makes sense, 2 advances may be saved up and spent to remove a major hindrance. I would say for now, hindrances and major and minor shouldn't be touched. They're still good. Right now, still good role play for you to key off on your character's behaviours. But as you get up in the ranks, we can definitely start to explore removing those. So I'll let you spend as you please. New edge, new skill, or increasing skills, new skills, 2 skills, 1 attribute die type. But you're going to do the attribute die by type once.
I can move my figure up to D8.
Mm-hmm. Why not? don't think it applies it, does it?
Can you
No,
alter your unskilled attempt?
You can't alter your unskilled attempt. No, unskilled attempt always stays at 4.
I think there's there's
An
is
edge.
the edge called Jack of all trades that may change it to something like a D6 or something. I don't know.
Ah,
I think there used to be, or whether that was a setting, I don't know.
Hang on. No, so Jack of all trades, through advanced schooling, you have to be novice, book learning, computer enhanced program, just amazing and intuitive. You're here to tell for picking up skills on the fly. The character makes a smarts roll as an action after observing or studying some subject. She gains a D4 in the relevant skill with success or a D6 with raise. She may try again. So it doesn't quite
No.
do it. It doesn't quite do what you were thinking. And there doesn't appear to be a way to increase the unskilled attempt.
and Sora, how did you increase your attribute?
You have to do it manually.
Yeah, you have to do it manually. So you put the advance in, select that you're increasing an attribute,
Yep.
and then go onto your attributes, click the cog, and then up it manually.
Colt, you've got 300 in the bank as a new edge. Is that where you put your note when you put some money in the bank last
Yeah.
session? All right. So what I suggest you do is you put that in the note section, and then you can delete that edge.
Oh, I see. There's a little note thing there. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. So I think if you raise attribute and say what you've raised.
I just ranged my strength from a 4 to a 6.
Okay. So strength. There you go. And then you've got a second advance if you want to spend it.
I can't see notes. I'm sure I have to put how much I put in the bank.
No, go to about.
I
And
see.
just
Let's
above
have a look.
add advance. Yeah, I didn't see it either.
Yeah, I did actually put my note in there, and I just couldn't see it then.
There you
Right.
go.
Okay. Right. I'm trying to phrase my stealth. So you go into stealth, click on sheet or on tweaks. Tweaks, I would guess. Proceed with caution. Okay.
It hasn't counted your advance there, though.
That's what I'm trying to do now. That should go to
Don't tick the planned. Don't tick the planned box, because the planned box doesn't count it as an actual advance, and you don't want that because you want to be able to track the advances because it'll change your rank as you get more advances.
Okay, the next one I've changed is my shooting from a 6 to an 8.
Have you unticked it for me because it's not ticked anymore?
Yeah, I've unticked it. Yeah.
That's okay. So stealth looks to have done it now. So that's my first one. What are your PowerPoints based off? Is it the staff?
Microsoft Office.
Well,
Yes, sorry, mate. No worries.
It's all right.
Your PowerPoint, where are they?
And the
They're the powers, aren't they?
Yeah. I don't know whether they're derived from smarts, spirit, spellcasting, occult, all of the above.
yeah, I can't see how it's worked out because mine's 15 and my spirit is 10. My smarts is 6. My vigor's 6. There's no way to get 15 out of all my fingers.
It'll have a base stat as well. So, like I think your toughness is 2+ something, isn't it? So it'll be a number plus something else.
Yeah.
Got your spirit high.
I downgraded my shooting. I changed my shooting. I've gone for athletics instead.
Okay. You downgraded your shooting?
Yeah, I took an upgrade in my shooting. Then went no, I'll go athletics instead.
Okay. Hello, Mr. Otis.
Hello, gents.
So,
Hello.
unlike the original system where you were awarded XP, and XP every 3 XP allowed you to spend an advance, you just get advances as and when the DM decides to give you them, and I'm giving you 2 advances.
Okay.
And if I share the sheet with you, again, apologies if you've closed it already. That tells you what you can spend your advances on. Don't do the minor or major hindrances just yet. I want to leave them as they are for at least a rank, so you get used to playing to those weaknesses and etc. PowerPoint.
Just looking it up now. 147 in the Savage Worlds book. Number of points character starts with when she's now came background.
Not in my book. That's Creating Worlds, but then I have the little book, and it's not the current book. Let's have a look. 1 minute.
Number of power points the character starts with when she chooses the arcade background hero, increase power points. Taking the edge, page 47. Starting powers, okay. Arcane background gifted starts with 15 power points.
Oh, so it's the background. Yes, it actually says, doesn't it, on the edge, on the actual background.
Yeah.
So
So it won't go up if I increase one of my skills or anything.
No, you would need to get the PowerPoint Edge, I believe.
That's fine. I was just trying to decide between raising spirit, spellcasting, and which one would, if either of them would give me PowerPoints. I know which ones to go for. But,
Yeah, no.
Sorry, Mr. Alexander, what's it based on?
Based on whatever your background is that you chose.
Ah, cool.
So it doesn't go up unless you buy an edge. But I'm going to increase spirit, I think.
And bear in mind, once you've increased your attribute once this rank, you can't do it again until you get to your next rank.
What? Spirit control. Okay, no, I won't bother with spirit. C3.
There's an edge summary somewhere, isn't there?
Yeah. Oh, yes, there is edges, yes. So if you look at characters,
I found it on
edges.
page 59.
Yeah.
Of the core book.
We got the core book in the system.
Yes, I think so.
Ah, got it. Yep. Cool.
I'll do that.
Yeah, so PowerPoint grants 5 additional PowerPoints, but no more than once per rank.
And how many advances are there that then become seasoned from novice?
It's 3. So once you get to your 4th advance, then you'll click over to the next rank.
Then season to become available.
So probably 2 more sessions will get you to seasoned.
Okay.
He says. Maybe 3.
Thanks, Tom.
Cool.
And your casting skill is basically your arcane background, isn't it?
Yes. Let me know when everybody's done, and then we'll do a recap and we'll carry on.
I'm done.
I think I can put my smart sock kind of.
Put your smarts up. Make you a little bit smarter.
Okay, that's that one. So I'm going to advance 2 dices. Dices? Die is the word I'm looking for. 2 skills.
Okay. 2 skills. As long as they're below their cap, you can do that, yes.
They are.
Perfect.
And then I suppose I may as well use the other one to gain a new age. Well, just like
Indeed.
Okay, how do I actually put my smart sock? See,
You want to put your smarts up by 1, do you? So do you just click on the cog, and there you go. I've done it for you.
cog to the upper left of the attributes.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so that's 1 advance, yes. So I could have then, in theory, put my notice up by 1.
You could, in theory, put your notice up by 1 and your persuasion up by 1 if you wanted, or your riding, because you get 2 skills lower than their linked attributes can be upped by 1, or you can add a new skill if you don't have it. But I think they're all the core skills there.
Or you could put 1 skill that's at its attribute maximum or above it, up by 1, up to a maximum of D12, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, so I could spend more. I did stealth, which is below.
So you can do 1 more that's below, yes.
So I did stealth, that was below, and I did spellcasting. No, I didn't. Yeah, I did spellcasting up to its limit, and stealth that was below. So
There
I
you
could
go.
get that one up. So I could get stealth up another level then.
No, not if you've already put your spellcasting. Or have you got another?
I've done spellcasting by 1 up to the cap.
Okay, so
Now
that's
I've got
half.
her up by 1, which is below the cap.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, it's anything up to your cap. If you go above it, it costs you 1 point.
Yeah, I'm not going above it.
So basically, those two cost 1 raise.
Okay.
One advance. So you've got 1 advance left. If you've got it for anything else.
Okay, so I could take.
As long as you haven't spelt it on an attribute.
Yeah, I've not touched an attribute.
Yeah, there you go. Cool. So yes, you have. See, according to that, Mehdi, you've done stealth and spellcasting there, have you, Kath?
Yeah.
Okay, let me do this. Let me take that. So raise a single skill is raise 2 skills, and then you do stealth and spellcasting. There we go. Just sorting out the sheet for you. So you've still got your 1 extra advance. Otherwise, it looks like you've had 3 advances. Otherwise,
Yeah. Yeah, I was working out how I was going to do it.
How you doing, Mehdi? You got yours done?
Push this up.
Too busy eating his Rice Krispies.
I'm going to take a new edge for 2 new powers.
Cool. Ooh. New powers.
So I put my smarts up by 1,
Yep.
and then I've put notice and persuasion up by 1, and that's the 2 points, correct?
Correct. Yeah. Perfect. Beautiful.
So yeah, I'm done. I did my strength and athletics.
Okay. Just athletics, Mehdi. Where was your athletics originally?
Well, it was at 4, but I put it to 6, so I could actually do 2, couldn't I?
Yeah, you've got another one to do then. So you've got to find something else that's below the linked attribute, and then you can raise it by 1. So, for instance, you could put your spirit up, your faith up to 10 if you wanted.
That's actually a good idea. That, yeah.
So likewise, I'm just going to change your raise single skill to raise 2 skills, and then we'll put
The powers list anywhere in the books inside the.
could be, yeah. Give me a sec. Yes.
Easy to drop onto the character sheet.
Yeah, you should just be able to shift space and search. But yeah, shifts. You might find that it's listed twice. I can never remember which one to select. I think it's the one in the plain red and white icon that you need to select.
Right,
Yep.
shift space and search where.
So a box should appear. When you shift space in Foundry, you should just say search by name type question mark to get more options.
Not getting the search box.
Does anybody else get it if you press shift space?
No.
No,
Hang on then. Hang on.
control space works.
Control space. That's what I meant. Control space. Did I not say control space?
No.
Of course you did, Zed.
Control space. Get there in the end.
Didn't add it to my character sheet now.
You just drag it from the search bar and drop it onto your character sheet.
Try the other one then. No, that's not doing it.
Right. I'll tell you what, I'll do it for you. It'll be just as quick. What power are you trying to add? Well, you've got deflection 3 times.
All
Oh,
the
it's not
power.
on hang on. It's not on a character sheet.
Has the character sheet popped out by any chance?
No.
Sometimes,
I'll close it and do it again then.
yeah, sometimes they don't
Oh, look,
update.
there it is. Okay, right. So we've got to delete 2 of those then.
Yeah.
So it was working. It just wasn't refreshing. Okay. So even deleting these isn't refreshing the sheet.
Yeah, weird. Yeah, some people
Yeah.
find it happens, and I don't know why. Very strange.
Could be browser type or something like that. They all behave differently.
Yeah. Okay. Now they're there. Brilliant. Perfect.
Cool. All right. Is that your 2 done as well?
Yeah. Everything
Yes,
done.
it is. Excellent. All right. So, last session, you arrived in. Well, first and foremost, you shared a peace pipe with Wovoka, where you learned a little bit about the ghost dance and some of the implications of that. You also learnt about a prophecy of the birth of a white calf, which apparently has just happened recently. You travelled from your camp with Wovoka and his ghost dancers down to Deadwood, where you witnessed the arrival of Custer's army. You were able to beat Custer's army into Deadwood, where you'd been sent to ostensibly by Wovoka to kind of speak to Charlie Bull, or Bull all the time, also known as Charlie, where you found him in the theatre. He tasked you with speaking to a couple of his people, some Sioux Indians that were basically sat at a table, not doing anything, in the Grand Central Hotel. Doing so, you learned that they had a small problem, and they wanted some outside help, some white man's help, because of the impending arrival of the army and the issues that may cause, because they discovered that there was a camp a couple of hours outside of Deadwood, up into the hills, where some miners had been killed, and it had been made to look like, as far as they're concerned, it had been made to look like the Indians had done it. Scalping, shooting with arrows, the usual kind of things. But they believe that may not be the case, and at the same time, they've lost one of their own. And so they want some help with tracking down what has happened to the people, the miners, as well as where their person has gone. And hopefully everything adds up so that you can help dissuade the locals from any further retribution against the Sioux Indians, which has been happening quite a lot recently. You stayed overnight in the Grand Central, woke up, had breakfast, and I think that's where we left it last week.
Yep.
I remember what I said I wanted to buy before we left.
I cannot remember either.
No. Let me have a look. I'm going to quick look through the equipment while you're talking.
Can you get
Dynamite, wasn't it?
eyeglass telescope type things in this? Spyglass.
Can you get binoculars, I believe?
If you can, I couldn't find them.
They're an infernal device, I think.
Are they an infernal? Oh, yeah, you don't want infernal devices.
Yeah, you do. Of course you do.
You do.
Sure, they're one of the owl eye goggles. Oh no, that's the pitch dark one.
Don't you have a sight for your gun?
Periscope.
There is a site that you can buy, but I don't know how good they are compared to spyglass.
I think there's also a power as well.
Is it a power? Yeah.
It is. There is a power which is Farsight, I think it's called.
Yeah, well, I can't buy a power, unfortunately.
So have a look. So no, there doesn't appear to be anything listed as a standard item that you can pick up.
how good are the scopes then? Because there is a scope, so like a rifle scope. If you could just have the scope, is it actually any good?
I'm just having a look. So it allows you to ignore 2 points of range. So if we look at range, and I've lost it. Cancels 2 additional points of penalties when aiming.
I think I wanted a Bowie knife.
But you're going to call it David?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Dave.
Dave the Bowie knife.
Okay, so what I would say is the scope will allow you to. So distances are fairly abstract. So if you look at your weapon, you've got like 5, 10, 20. Represents short range, medium range, and long range. What we would do is, I would say you can, with a scope, because it allows you to reduce the range, the penalty by 2. If you're going to use it as kind of a sight to see something, then you can basically treat something at medium range for the weapon as short range, and so on and so forth. So you would, if you wanted to notice something at long range using the sight, it would be a -2 to your dice roll.
Right. Yeah, I'm not looking for it for the gun so much as to be able to stealth out things more than anything.
I can give you, you can get one and you can use it in that way. It won't be brilliant, but it will give you some idea of what's going on.
Yeah. Okay, I'll get one of those. They're $30, aren't they?
Yeah.
How
Johnny's asking to go up.
No worries.
long do we think we'll be out?
Well, what the Angry Clouds told you was that the journey to the camp is about 2.5 hours. So, no more than a day. You shouldn't be out more than a day unless something goes horribly wrong, you think.
Well, we've got Custer's army outside, haven't we? We want to be out and back in before they start to tear up the place.
Yes. If you can.
I'm going to grab some trail rations then.
Okay.
2 days for while we're out.
Cool.
Just in case.
Oh, I've got everything, haven't I? I forgot about that.
Everything?
Yeah, coffee, trail rations, mess kit, rope, matches, lantern, canteen, cigars, fondue set. Isn't hers much in dressing gowns?
Cuddly toy.
Cuddly toy.
Have you got a 10-foot pole?
And
His name's Petrov.
a barrel of salted fish.
Yeah.
That's salted fish.
You've got an empty wooden cup. Half a denarii.
Yeah.
So you take a little bit of time to shop. So you can definitely add items to your character sheet that you're looking for, shopping. and then you kind of ride out to the edge of town, where you pick up and meet up with Angry Clouds and his 3 companions.
As we approach, I'll hold up my hand and give them a greeting.
They kind of nod at you. Angry Cloud kind of nods and kind of so it just gives you a general greeting, holds his hand up and sort of says good morning. As you're passing down the high street, sort of leaving the town, you see a tired-looking preacher drag a box out onto the street. Neatly trimmed beard, but quite a burly man. He yawns, steps up on the box, looks around at the gathering few miners. There's probably...
I shoot him.
Okay, you're going to shoot him. Are you really going to shoot him?
Yeah, a preacher getting on a box in front of some miners. That doesn't end well. That ends up on a list. That ends up on a list.
That's what I shoot him.
The box actually has TNT on the side of it, so you shoot the box.
Yeah. He kind of nods at you as you kind of ride past, and as you kind of give him not really much of a second thought, you can hear him preaching behind you.
That's Cole's character, isn't it?
That's me. I'll stay behind.
It absolutely is Co's character. Yes.
I will, in a loud voice, shout to him, "Spread the word, brother, spread the word."
He kind of looks up at you and kind of nods and, "Aye, and you, brother, and you."
Go to the mountains.
Different.
He doesn't. I would say he doesn't. You know, as you glance over your shoulder again, as you kind of hit the end of the high street and you're about to kind of leave Deadwood, there's maybe 2 or 3 people listening to him, but for the most part, people are just ignoring him.
And then you realise, Maddie, he's Anglican.
I shoot him.
No, are you not? You're not far from Utah here, are you? It might be a Mormon.
Oh,
I definitely shoot him.
Definitely shoot him
but
twice.
Give him all your stuff first, then shoot him.
Twice, the second time for good measure. All right, everybody give me riding rolls, please.
Okay. Unskilled attempt.
You okay?
None of us start with riding, really, apart from the ranch hand, I think.
Ooh. Are we all? Oh dear. Do none of you actually have riding as a skill?
I have it, but only D4.
Okay.
I think riding is like making manoeuvres and shit, isn't it? But I think just getting there and not having a sore ass.
I did have a horse a day ago.
Yeah.
I rolled. I saw the dice roll, but it's not appeared. Did it work?
I've got Billy's riding roll. I've got Dr. Newton's riding roll. I've got Colt's riding roll.
Right.
I've got Blake's. I haven't got yours, so roll again.
I've got -2 on my roll. That's an skill modifier, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice. Okay. Because you're unskilled. Okay. So over the next couple of hours, as you kind of climb up out of Deadwood and up into the Black Hills, what was a very light drizzle down in Deadwood becomes a more sullen, sort of that kind of really nasty drizzle that just gets inside everything that you're wearing. The ground around you goes from, somewhat hard mud, or probably slightly soft mud, to, in places, it becomes quite a muddy path, hiding a bunch of hazards and other issues that you have to navigate through. all of you do your best, but other than Blake, and Billy and Blake do all right. The rest of you embarrass yourselves in front of the Sioux. They definitely realise that you are not seasoned horse riders, and they kind of they're patient, but you can see occasionally this kind of look of disappointment kind of flits between between them as they kind of have to pause every so often, help you navigate over or through some muddy parts of the trail, etc. Anybody get a critical failure? No, we're good. Okay. As the morning passes on, gradually you kind of climb out, and then you kind of hit this kind of valley. And in the distance you can see sort of a stand of trees. And Angry Clouds points, and he kind of looks at you through their camp. We'll stay here and leave you to investigate. And they kind of pull their horses up and just sit, waiting for you.
Head on down. Well, keep an eye on the horizon around us as well to make sure nobody else is heading in the same direction.
Okay. All right.
Any sound of or any noises or signs that there's other people about apart from us?
Give
Horses,
me,
Take a scan around and notice.
Yeah. As you're approaching, give me general notice rolls, please. Oh, look at that. Okay, so Billy gets one raise.
There's minor pigs. I can't see it on there.
Colt.
The chat doesn't appear to scroll at the moment. It's just staying further up and scroll down manually.
I've got scroll it down.
I think it's
Colt,
the. Go on.
Colt got 17. There.
I can't see Colt's roll.
Above Sorrento.
It's just above my
Third
one.
one.
Third one up, yeah.
Can't see it.
You
No,
scroll
I can't see it either.
Yeah, I got 4. Dr. Newsom got 6. Colt got 17. Sorrento got question marks.
Hang on, I'll reload my browser.
10.
Gotcha. Now it's all appeared. Okay, now it's all appeared. So, Colt, Jesus Christ, how did you get?
You not see them? Did you not see them exploding?
Well, did they explode? Did they?
Oh yeah.
So many times.
Because I've only got 4 in notice.
Yeah, you got 4 4s and then a 1, and each 4 exploded. Then you got a 6 on your wild dice and a 5. So we take the highs, which is 17. So that gives you 3 raises. Okay.
Like an eagle in flight.
Yeah.
Caw-caw.
And then Billy gets 1 raise. Blake is successful. Dr. Newton is successful. Tom is successful. So let's start with the basics. The approach to the stand of trees, you can see what appears to be boot prints kind of in the soft mud up and towards the edge of the trees themselves. There are animals. You can hear animals in the trees, in the grass and the brush and the shrubbery around you. So there's nothing untoward as such. You don't have that kind of strange sense of foreboding as such here. Let me just check something though.
It says boot marks in the mud.
Yes.
Does it look like Indian boots or?
Um,
Be working boots because they're miners, weren't they? Sorry.
They are. I mean, to your eyes, they are boots. They are definitely boots. They are not sort of the moccasins that an Indian would wear.
And these were he was a traditionalist, wasn't he?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he definitely would have been wearing, whereas some Indians may, but he definitely wouldn't.
No, I'm just checking fear levels. Okay, I don't know why it's on that page. It shouldn't be on that page. Okay. Yeah. Every so often, Colt, you hear some kind of faint like something's making a clicking sound with their tongue on the roof of their mouth. But you're not sure where it's coming from. It seems to come from different directions each time you hear it. So we're going to proceed into the camp.
Yeah.
What was the layout? So we're coming over. We've come over a ridge, have we? Dropping into the camp.
Yeah, you kind of come up. Well, you've come up into a valley, and then you're now kind of travelling along a straight part of the valley into this thicket of trees, and beyond this thicket of trees is where the camp is, and it's exactly as you can see it laid out here.
It's black.
Mine's all black, yeah.
Beautiful.
Actually, is it coal mine now? Are we actually inside the mine now?
You are inside the mine, yes.
And it's dark. At night. So
No, we set off in the morning, didn't we?
yeah, it's probably night by now. Though.
Is it still dark, or can you
It's
see
dark.
things?
It's not dark. No, it's still
It's
dark.
dark.
Missions, isn't it? There we go.
Perfect, thank you.
That's what you see. You see a pair of bodies laid on their back on the floor, a tatty-looking tarp, and other accoutrements of a camp.
Do we want to pick it here? Stop the horses messing everything up.
Yeah. He's damn good with that bow to get that many arrows in them before they spot him. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 12 shots off.
Mm-hmm.
Apart from the two arrow-riddled bodies, what states the rest of the camp in? Is there signs of a struggle elsewhere, or is that sort of orderly to a certain degree?
The tent appears. This camp has been kind of, as I say, in a stand of trees, just the other side of a stand of trees, about 30 yards from the main path through the valley. Looking around, you can see the tent is quite ratty and old. It's threadbare in places. There'll be a couple of patches on it as well. You can see miners' tools and other camp necessities sort of spread around. A couple of chairs kind of turned over on their sides, and a makeshift table, quite a natty old table, with what appeared to be some well-used plates on and pots on the table itself. The fire near the tent is out.
But we'd expect that, 'cause it's been a couple of days since they were reported deaded.
Correct. Yes.
Any sign of animals being at them?
Yes, there would have been. Given they've been here overnight, yes, there would definitely be signs of animals.
I think maybe we should go and turn them over and see if anything else has happened to the front of them, because you could quite happily shoot them in the belly and then just ram them full of arrows with your hand.
I'm going to move in.
Okay.
I'm gonna picket my horse up against this tree that I'm next to. I assume that's a big tree, or is it a bush?
Yeah, no, you can pick up your horse against a big tree.
I'll do the same thing. I'll watch exactly how he does it.
I dismounted and walked over. But
Is it worth maybe having a quick look around the outside of the camp through the trees?
That's where I'm going. That's where I'm going.
Ah,
that's kind of what I'm doing over towards the campfire way.
I'm going to
Well,
stay
if you
where I
go-
am on
if-
horseback with a rifle covering.
Okay,
wonderful.
sounds
If you
good.
go south, I'll go north.
All right. So give me, anybody looking around the perimeter of the camp, you can give me a survival roll, please.
Survival.
Not notice.
No, survival at this point.
Okay.
Oh, I don't have survival, do I?
No.
Yeah,
I
no,
don't.
I've got
Or is it tracking?
I haven't got that either.
that either. Mind you, I've got unskilled attempt, so hang on.
Yeah. It's good. Skilled attempt's not too bad.
Dr. Newton, you have no clue. You have no clue whatsoever. In fact, you're not even sure horses have passed through here, despite the fact that your horses are picketed at the tree. Again,
I'm more
Blake.
interested in the geology of the mine.
Yeah, you are indeed. We'll come to that in a second. So, just looking at this, so Tom, you get 1 raise. Cole gets a success. So, scanning the perimeter of the camp, the miners' boot prints are all over the place, just as you would expect, up in the tree line, around the camp itself. But here and there, you can now see the softer moccasin prints, and they kind of come and kind of go into the camp from the tree line. And Tom, one of the things you notice is that they seem to be very smooth and regular, kind of signifying the fact that you think whoever wore those moccasins were new and were not, certainly haven't seen a season's wear out in the wilds.
Okay. Pass that on to the others.
Okay.
I'll just make my way round this southern perimeter, round to the back of the.
All right. You're going to make your way round to the back of the camp.
Round the outside, yeah.
Right
Yeah.
outside.
Round the outside.
Oops.
Give me give me a notice roll, please, Mr. Devro. As you reach the back of the camp, there is a small path that sets off down and away from the camp itself, towards the draw below. You notice here and there, stuck to small branches and another kind of entangling foliage, globs of blood, patches of torn skin, and other tissue. And it's not just that, it's there is enough. I mean, there is so much of it in sort of the first 20 yards as you follow down this path that you almost imagine that you could get a mason jar and fill the mason jar with blood, torn patches of skin, and other bits of flesh.
Do they match any wounds that are on the two corpses if I go and look at
Go look at the corpses.
them?
Give me a healing roll.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't go and look at the corpses. I've gone to the tent to look through that.
I'll give you an unskilled.
Okay, you're doing all right with unskilled, though. Anybody else have healing?
I do.
No.
All right, do you want to come and have a? You'd need to use healing to have a nosy around thing.
I'll just say we've got a big trail of blood over there. Are these guys marked up as though they've been dragged through bushes?
Give me a notice roll, and then Tom, give me a notice roll as well. What's Dr. Newton doing?
I'm going to go and look at the barrels.
Okay. Do you have? I don't know whether you actually have
Barrel looking skill.
Holy crap! What is this with all these exploding rolls tonight?
25% chance on a D4.
Yeah. Doctor, give me a notice roll as well.
A notice roll.
Yeah. To Benny that at all?
Yeah, go on. It's there we go.
Okay. Let's start with you. So, in the barrels themselves are, for the most part, fairly mundane barrels. There are a few barrels and crates with supplies in. There's a couple of crates with some furs and things in. You also find that there's a couple. One of the crates seems to have remnants of ghost rock in it. You can see bits of ghost rock powder mixed in amongst some sort of normal stone. And yeah, there's not a lot of sign of the miners being very successful. But it looks to your eye, that whatever they were mining, it was probably a ghost rock seam.
Does it look like if they found ghost rock, whatever it was, has been taken out of the barrel, and this is just the dregs?
It looks to your eye more that this is possibly all they'd found.
All right, so it was a very weak seam of ghost rock at the very best.
Yes.
Is there enough to amass a small quantity?
Is there enough to amass a small quantity? Let's have a look. Not really.
Okay.
Oh, looking around the tent, you notice that nothing has been disturbed, so nothing has been tossed or pulled apart looking for things that might have been hidden. Bedrolls and things are just strewn out as though two people were kind of staying here. You don't get the sense that they were particularly clean individuals. But there's nothing in the tent that looks sort of out of place or disturbed in that sense.
Any writings, like maps or letters or anything that might give us a clue as to where they were actually mining or anything like that?
There is a map on a kind of folded up next to one of the bedrolls, yes.
Okay, I'll take a look at that.
It seems to indicate the path that you followed and as best you can tell, to the north of this area, probably no more than 50 to 100 yards, is an X and a question mark.
Okay. Yeah, I'll have a quick look around the tent, see if there's anything else that might give a clue as to what's going on, whether they had another partner or anything like that.
Yeah, all right. I'll leave you doing that for a second.
Yeah.
Colt,
Yeah.
looking at the bodies, they are lying on their stomachs, wearing overalls and heavy jackets, spotted with mud and grime. Definitely marks them as miners. Throats have been cut, they've been scalped, and they have several arrows sticking out of their back. You notice the fatal wound was the cut. And interestingly, as you're kind of squatting down and looking at the bodies, and you notice that the fatal thing was the cut, Blake, you notice that there's extra heavy sort of staining and mud on both bodies' knees. It looks to you like they were on their knees when their throats were cut, both facing the same direction, and they both fell forwards in the position that they're in now.
So if we're off to the side, are there multiple sets of boots behind them?
There are a set of moccasin prints behind the bodies, yes.
I'm going to look at.
And then
Blake.
as you kind of examine the scene a bit more, there seems to be a set of moccasin prints in front of the bodies as well. You can just make out one near sort of the arm, as if there was a figure perhaps stood in front of them before their throats were cut.
The arrows in the back, is there a lot of blood around the arrows?
Is there a lot of blood?
I'm just trying to
Well,
see if they were alive when they were shot, when the arrows were put into them.
Yeah, arrows are added post-mortem.
Give me another healing roll.
Yeah, because I guess if you were shot in the back that many times,
You wouldn't use your throat cut, would you?
No.
Is slitting a throat a standard practice for an Indian?
Scalping wasn't actually a standard practice for Indians.
That was an American thing.
It was a white man's thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, the British taught them how to do it.
You are not sure. There is certainly blood staining around the wounds. You just don't know if it's what you're expecting to see.
Right.
Here's a question. From the arrows, how far have they gone in? Because have they just been pushed in?
As you pull one out, you realise that it's probably no more than the head inside the body.
Yeah, it's been staged.
Yeah, it's been staged. Yeah, all day long. It's not got stuck in a rib then.
Yeah, as I say, and part of the way the arrows are stuck is probably more due to the overalls and the clothing that they're wearing than the actual arrowhead's penetration and purchase into the body.
Yeah.
Brand new moccasins, throat slit. They were executed. Arrows in the back. It's all been staged by a white man.
Yeah, multiple people here as well. One or two maybe to make sure that they didn't move while they were at gunshot. At gunpoint, and the other just slit the throat. Yeah.
Someone's trying to start a war.
Starter.
Another war.
Another war, yeah, sorry.
No, somebody's trying to start a cleansing. That's what they're trying to start.
Yeah, these
I
bodies,
think it's
did they have the wounds? Well, obviously, I'm going to say no for the wounds that's down the trail there.
Everybody give me a notice roll.
I reckon a bear's come up and snuck on somebody and chowed them down the thing or carried
But the other thing on that point, because Tom did ask the question, there is definitely on the exposed hands and arms, there is definitely signs of gnawing and chewing, probably from smaller animals like a fox or, a fox or a coyote or a raccoon or something.
So it's not like half a jar of skin and blood taken off them.
No. Dr. Newton, with your one raise. There is a rustling all around you. And you kind of glance over to where the horses are picketed. And you notice that your horse is kind of straining at the tether. And you can see that the tether is actually starting to come loose around the tree trunk.
Okay.
As it's starting to pull itself. And then you notice that all the other horses are doing the same.
I will call out to the remainder of the group that are closer to the horses that the horses have been scared or they're trying to get away from something.
I am still on horseback.
And you are. Can you give me a riding roll, please?
I've just seen the name of the camp.
Clearly not.
You can see the name of the camp. That's awful, the fact that you can see the name of it.
Okay, mate.
Guess we're walking back.
Yeah, I'm going to run towards my horse.
Billy, your horse just suddenly turns and starts ambling of its own volition through the camp. And you notice that the other horses that were picketed against a tree are also straining and pulling at their tethers and are starting to make headway to get loose.
When you say ambling through the camp, i.e. past the other guys.
Yes, straight through the camp towards that back, I was going to say back passage then, towards the rear trail of the camp.
Over there.
Yes. And you can hear that rustling and the occasional kind of sound as though somebody's making a clicking sound with their tongue against the bridge of their, the roof of their mouth.
Velociraptors.
I never even thought of that, yeah. Clever girl.
Yeah, running for the horse.
Okay. All right.
Have I got any control of my horse?
With a riding test skill of 2 at that point, no. So it's made it sort of 2/3 across the camp. You can have another go to try and bring it under control.
Is that horse coming past me?
Yeah, it would do actually.
Can I grab its rein at the front to stop it
Yeah.
and turn it round? Well, don't need to now. Oh, you got all the control.
Holy!
Yeah, you managed to kind of grab your reins and hold the horse to a stop, and then quickly turn it around and steer it back, just as Blake was about to grab the rein.
With that roll, it's done a complete fucking dressage test.
Yeah, it has done a complete dress.
Walking backwards.
Yeah. But you definitely get the sense that the horse wants to go down that trail. And it's taken you a little bit of effort to really bring the horse under control.
I'm going to attempt to get over and grab some reins so they don't run off and break free.
Okay. It's about this point that you notice Angry Cloud has kind of rode In fact, he's not even on horseback. He's come up on foot, and he kind of grabs the reins of your other horses as well, and he kind of gestures you to join him.
Head over,
Mm-hmm.
keeping a look in the trees to see what's making that noise.
I am going to bring my rifle up ready to shoot anything that appears that's not friendly.
Yeah, my hands are holding over my pistol.
He kind of looks between you, slightly agitated. He says, "So, what have you found?"
Your friend didn't kill them.
I'm gonna nod to Blake. So Blake, do you want to tell him what you think?
I think that. Oh, I'm going to get my horse first and get on it. Something spooking them. Yeah, they were. It was definitely staged. The arrows were pushed in. They weren't fired. And it looks like they were executed by knife at rifle point or gun point.
No sign of a gun, no sign of bullet wounds, so knife,
No.
definitely.
Oh no, but you said there was somebody front, so I assumed they had a gun on them or something to make sure they didn't move.
You could have done. He nods. Arrows definitely Sue, though we trade all the time with white man so he can hunt in hills without guns. Easy to get. Moccasins too, also easy to get. Unlikely that Never Smiles would have new moccasins, especially this time of the year. His would show at least a season's worth of wear. We must move away from this place. Downhill, very dangerous.
There's something down there, I think. Don't know if it's a bear or.
The trail leads down into a muddy swamp. We call it Horse Eater Woods. An evil spirit lives there. It eats anything, but it likes horses the most.
You couldn't have told us that before we took our horses down.
We hadn't realised. It
Does
must
it
be
make
sensing them, calling them. We don't go there. Too dangerous.
Angry
But
Cloud?
if the path,
Does it make a kind of a noise?
that is its susurration,
Ah,
calling the horses.
Should we drag the corpses towards it so that it can dispose of the bodies?
He looks at you. That is an interesting solution to the problem. But I wouldn't go down there unarmed. Do you have salt?
Looks at the priest who's carrying half the kitchen.
just looking.
No, but I have other condiments.
Please.
I have mustard, vinegar.
Does Pepper do the job?
Yeah, I've got the other half of the group. Yeah.
Mustard, vinegar, and oregano.
No, certainly no salt.
Yeah. What's in our mess kits?
He, as you kind of start looking at your mess kits and stuff, he shakes his head. He says, "Not enough salt. You need lots of salt."
Was there salt in the barrels or
Barrels.
camp rations?
Not that you could see. No.
So you want to season
sorry.
the corpses.
You'll find there's probably a handful of salt, but not enough. He explains that you need a substantial amount of salt. The spirits hate salt.
So
Have a
it's
look
not
in the
easy
tent.
for the
Have a look
corpses.
in the tent for any rations. Maybe they had some salt in there.
Again, you can find a handful of salt overall, maybe 2 handfuls. Just you don't get the sense that that's enough.
No, we're going to need a proper big bag full of salt.
In terms of the geology of the camp and surrounds, is there any mineral that could be sort of treated in such a way to create salt? Otherwise, that's quite a lot. It's more than a handful.
Yeah. I mean, you probably would know how to do it, but you don't know if there are any sort of deposits of things that could be used in that way.
How steep is the slope leading down to the swamp?
It is a steady slope. It's not super steep, but it is noticeable that it's a slope going downwards.
Going to put them in a barrel and roll them down.
Exactly.
Angry Cloud's kind of just, he looks at you and says, I know of a place, a trader who lives nearby. He does not follow the old ways, so my friends consider him not enemy in your language, something like madman. He may have salt in the quantity that you might need should you go down that trail. I would not recommend going down there without it.
Looks like we're going trading.
Yeah, well, we need to get rid of the corpses somehow. That's the easiest way to dispose of them.
I'm not quite comfortable with that.
Well, disposing of the corpses.
Yeah, well, feeding these poor miners to a creature down there.
They're just meat at the moment. Their souls are long gone.
Well, let me just make sure of that.
Say a prayer by all means.
I'm going to go over and give him the final blessing.
I'm an Anglican.
I'll go and one take the arrows out as well.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. So the rest of you kind of keep the horses at bay. They are very restless. They do occasionally tug, and you get the sense they definitely want to head down that path and down that slope beyond the clearing. In the meantime, so Colt and Blake removes all the arrows. Colt spends a few moments praying over each of the bodies. Afterwards, you come back. You are satisfied that you have given the people the last rites.
Wonderful. Right, let's go to this trader. Let's go get some salt.
Okay, let's take a 10-minute break.
Cool.
Yeah, let's take a quick 10-minute break.
Drag the bodies first into the bushes.
Oh, in case somebody comes back.
While we go. Yeah.
Mutant Chronicles is brilliant. I love the intro scenario that I ran a couple of times. I ran it for you and Steve, didn't I, Zorantar?
You ran that twice for me. Yeah.
Yeah, the Von
Yeah.
Hole scenario.
Yeah.
That's really cool. And then the campaign, which is actually good. The best bit of the campaign, though, for me was when the group are playing. You start off playing detectives, so it's kind of like a sci-fi noir thing. Looking at why people are going crazy.
I don't think I played on the moon. I don't think I played the campaign you did I?
No,
You ran that on the
don't.
moon, didn't you? No.
Yeah, and I ran it face to face with Otis and Seabor and some of our old Wednesday group.
Meaty, meaty snacks.
Eaty neaty snacks, yeah. Yeah. Nobody would ever eat an eaty neaty again. Brilliant.
Was it the people snack?
No, but you find out what's going on, and that's when you realise that as a character you would never eat another eaty neaty again. And think of it as like a fast food thing, like a Twinkie, that kind of thing, that everybody wants to eat. But it's brilliant.
Never eat anything out of a vending machine again.
Never eat anything from a vending machine again.
It's not made of foreskins then.
That would be a nice product.
Can't remember what was in it. All right. Shall we?
I don't know if anybody else has said it, but we're dragging the bodies off into the brush and hiding them, like sort of like maybe 15 feet in or something like that. So, but we'll pick them up and carry them, not drag them.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Of course, you just put them in the tent.
Could do and set fire to it. Yeah, that'd do the job on it. You would not want to feed it to anybody. Just cook it for the monster.
All right. So you hide the corpses as best you can, and then you kind of collect your horses, and reluctantly you manage to steer them out back onto the track and follow. Well, actually, before you do that, as you kind of all go back to your horses, and Angry Cloud is there. His three companions are further down the track. You can see them in the distance. They're kind of just not really paying too much attention. And he says, if you are willing to continue to help find my missing friend, then I can offer you this. And he kind of looks around and makes sure none of the others are watching him as he hands over a small sort of doe-skin drawstring bag.
Is it a potion of healing?
The bag of holding.
It is neither a bag of holding nor a potion of healing.
Open it then.
A bag of ghost rock.
It is a bag of ghost rock.
Come on.
Ooh.
It has. I'm just trying to find out where it tells me how much is in there.
They're either ghost rock cores that weigh a pound, or it's a pound of ghost rock that can be used for.
It is ghost rock cores that weighs a pound, and there are 4 of them. So it's a 4-pound bag of ghost rock. So open market, that's about $400 worth of ghost rock.
Or enough fuel for a flamethrower for a week.
Or enough fuel for a flamethrower for a week. Yeah, we don't really know what the doctor does yet because he hasn't shown you.
But when the bag of ghost rock appeared, his eyes light up.
Well, we know he's a
Because he's just said that, he's not having it.
We know he's
under his breath.
Well, we know he's not a medical doctor because he had no clue as to what was happening with the bodies. He went over.
He might be a dentist.
Yeah.
A failed vet.
Doc Holliday was so called Doc because he was a qualified dentist.
Yep.
True. Okay, thank him gratefully, and I will hand it over to Doc to hold on to. He knows what this stuff does.
Yeah, I don't know what it does. So,
Saddle my horse 15 feet away from him.
yeah.
Most of you wouldn't really know what it does. You know of it. You know it's the new fuel to power lots of things like railroad, new railroad cars and stuff like that. You've even heard of rumors that it can be used to power guns, but you don't know how, and it just looks like a strange semi-lucent, luminescent rock to you.
It looks like coal, but with a kind of translucent, or not translucent, sort of whitish pearlescent veins that run through it.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So,
And this is refined ghost rock, so it's
Even
shaped.
more dangerous.
Well, you can cook your food on it. You can set fire to it, and it'll last about a week to a week and a half, but it will incinerate anything that touches it.
So what you're saying is it's not good for doing bacon on?
It's lovely sprinkled in your
Okay.
coffee.
I think the doctor snorts ghost rock. I think that's what he does. A couple of lines of ghost rock and he's set.
That is an edge, but there are consequences.
So, about a mile or so from the camp, following the Yellow Creek Road as you have been doing, Angry Cloud kind of takes you that direction. You start to come across a string of rough campsites. Here and there at the campsites, you can see miners. They're kind of doing what miners do: cooking, repairing tools, sitting on the edge of their tents, partly covered from the drizzle, staying out of the drizzle, etc. A few kind of nod at Angry Cloud and his group as they drive past. Most just kind of look at you with sort of sullen eyes, not antagonistic, but kind of, you're an outsider. We don't know you. You mind your business. We'll mind our business. Kind of. Yeah, exactly. You mind your business. We'll mind our business. One of the things you do notice, though, as you're following the trail, is here and there, stuck in bushes, stuck up against trees, even scattered on the floor, appears to be leaflets.
Leaflets, as in
Flyers.
Give
As
Keith a
in-
chance.
As in flyers, yeah.
I'll buy. I'll dismount and I'll get one.
Okay. You find one in a bush that's it's somewhat soggy, but allows you to very carefully turn it over and take a look at it. Written in a fairly plain sort of text, it says, "Come, brothers and sisters, to the Chapel of Red Waters in Deadwood, Dakota Territory. We provide sustenance for both the body and the soul. If you are willing and obedient, you shall eat the good of the land." Isaiah 1:19.
I don't like the word obedient there.
I'll crumple it up and chuck it back on the floor.
Is that quote correct?
Give me a
asking,
faith. Give me
yeah,
a faith roll.
I'm just checking. It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
The next line is, but if you resist and rebel, you'll be devoured by the sword.
Is that what the next line is?
For the mouth of the Lord has spoken.
Kindly God.
Yes. Very forgiving.
Yeah.
question: are the Indians that we're sort of following?
Yep.
Are they sort of using their tracking skills to make sense of where they're going?
No, it's clear that they know where they're going. They've been on this trail before.
Yeah, Angry Skies did say, Angry Cloud, sorry, did say that it's a trader he knows.
Continuing on up the trail, another sort of half mile. You've probably travelled nearly 2 miles now from the original site of the miners' camp. You come to a wagon. It's set up. The sides are open, and you can see a haggard-looking man, blue-eyed, black hair, dark worn sort of tweed coat and a bowler hat. And as he sees Angry Clouds and the group, he kind of steps forward, at which point Angry Clouds waves at him. Turns to you and says, "This is Trader Dick, otherwise known as Takoda. Part Sioux, part non-Sioux. Walks in our world and the world of the white man. He may be able to help you." Trader Dick. You're muted, Seymour.
Oh, I'm a fucking child.
Go on, share.
Pictures everywhere.
Sorry, his name was Sakuda.
Takoda. Takoda. Half Sioux, half non-Sioux. So you can tell, yeah, he's a half Indian, half non-Indian. His name is Dick. He isn't a trader of. There are 17 sizes of black rib nobbler in his wagon. Each has a slightly different dimple in a different place.
Have you met his wife, Anne? Anne Summers.
And Dick. Yeah. Gentlemen, what can I help you with today?
Well, I've got this rash.
I assume, he says, I assume Angry Clouds has brought you here for a reason. No, I don't get many visitors beyond the miners down in the camps below.
Hi, my friend. Angry Clouds here says you can get us some salt.
Salt? Huh? Salt. Well, I can. I've got 4-pound bags of salt. Happy to let you have it. $4 for the 4. $1 each.
All right. I think we'll be having all of them, please.
Does that sound like a sensible price?
Does that sound like a sensible price? No, it's more for you, Doctor. It's definitely more expensive than you would expect to pay for it down in one of the towns.
But we're in a miners' camp where the prices are hiked up anyway, aren't they?
Yes.
Be able to persuade him to haggle down slightly?
You could go for a persuasion check, yes.
Give it a giggle.
Go on, I'll go for that. I'll have a go. 10 for that? You must be mad.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, without it.
Is that the best you can do, Dick?
Well, sir, what were you thinking?
But I was thinking if maybe I start at 1 and you start at 4 and we meet somewhere in the middle.
Right.
Go on, I'll give you $3 for all 4.
That is a very good price. Now, can I interest you in anything else? I have ammunition for a wide variety of weapons. I have, and he kind of pulls out a couple of boxes of pistol rounds. I have pistol rounds, I have rifle rounds, and I have shotgun rounds. I have arrows. You notice the arrows are exactly the same arrows, or at least the same fletchings, the same style as the arrows that you pulled from the body of the miners.
Anybody bought a bunch of arrows off you recently?
Everybody buys arrows off me. The miners have bought arrows recently. If you mean, does anybody that I don't recognise or know?
Yes. Anybody new?
No, not recently. You're the first new faces I've seen in, maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
2 weeks or 3 weeks?
2 weeks, 3 weeks. Time has a funny way of passing when you're here. Now, anything else, gentlemen?
How do we use this salt as protection?
No, we asked the Indian will know that.
So you're asking Angry Cloud?
Yeah.
Well, there's a number of ways you can use it. I suggest you throw it at whatever it is that you wish to be protected from. That is one option. You could scatter it over it if it was to get close to you. That's another option. I don't recommend using it to create lines on the floor. That is mere superstition. And any spirit would know that it could simply step over it.
Is there anything we can do with our bullets to make them
Salty.
affect the spirits?
Ooh. Do you know what? Why don't we get the doctor, the good Dr. Newton, to give me a science roll?
A science roll. That one there.
Oh, keep going.
Oh, he's doing nice. 2 raises. As Tom sort of muses this out loud, sort of half to himself, half to the group, half to Angry Clouds, you do indeed realise, you've heard of, not uncommon, people putting rock salt into shotgun cartridges. You could probably empty a few shotgun cartridges and fill them with salt and create a similar kind of effect.
Well, I have a repair skill and I have a MacGyver skill. I think I
You
can
do.
generate something.
You
I
absolutely could.
will quite happily hand you some of my shotgun shells.
You're right.
You're the Deadlands equivalent of a fucking tinker gnome, aren't you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Nothing they can't fix, repair, or make even more dangerous than it already is.
Yeah, that last phrase is probably about right.
Has this chap got any shotguns for sale?
I was just thinking the same thing. Go on.
He doesn't have shotguns for sale. He has shotgun ammo. He has a box of shotgun ammo.
Okay, so
And yeah, you could very easily, even probably while riding on the horse, depending on. But by now, by the way, it's probably time-wise, it's probably early afternoon. You're probably looking at just nudging 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So spend an hour or so, and you could get
Well,
6 rounds. You get 6 rounds done.
so my repair skill I got a raise.
Yeah. Yeah, and yeah. So definitely. So I'll give you 6 rounds after an hour.
Okay.
Has he got any leather and leather carding
Leather cording.
and leather? I'm just thinking making pouches to put this salt in so we can have individual pouches to throw as opposed to just scooping it out of a £1 bag.
Yeah.
He has a number of small pouches. that the miners use for sort of incidental gold find or small bits of ghost rock that they can just drop in. You know, kind of dice bag size.
Okay.
Can you
Buy-
have a look
Buy
at
some of
the
them.
MacGyver skills, Ed?
Yep.
Probably turn it into a small explosive.
Yep.
I'm standing behind him.
Okay. Yep.
Which is another repair roll.
Keepers. Okay.
He definitely gets his own tent.
Bang.
Not the right. I haven't got the right bits on me. It doesn't go wrong. It just doesn't.
You haven't got the right bits on you.
His own tent in his own camp.
yeah. Separated by a distance of about 20 feet and a large fence
Yeah.
made of rock.
Okay, I'll
Right.
start. I'll buy six pouches then,
Okay.
and then I'll start putting some salt in each of those.
All right. Probably cost you $1 for the 6.
Okay.
You take some time to prep. You've got your 6 shotgun shells with salt in them. You've got 6 pouches, each with about 2/3. So you had 4 pounds of salt. You've probably not even used half a pound with the 6 shotgun shells. And each of the other bags, probably close to 2/3 of a pound of salt could be crammed into them. So yeah, you've got six bags of salt.
Hand those around to people that can throw.
Okay.
I mean, what skill it is for? Is there a throwing skill? I think there is.
I was
Isn't there?
going to say,
Agility.
It's athletics.
Or is it?
that's
Right?
all right.
How fortuitous.
Was it? I thought it was agility. That was.
Agility. Is it agility? Hang on.
Is it straight agility or a skill derived of it?
There used to be a throwing skill.
I think they just call it shooting now.
What we need Doc to make for us is like a large fan, and we can just empty the sacks over it.
Yeah, that would work.
Yeah, there is a throwing skill
What about
that's based on agility.
What about a large
Oh, there used to
barrel of
be.
fish?
He won't have a large barrel of fish now. On the basis that you're up in the mountains. Oh, excuse me, sorry.
Salted fish.
Yeah, salted fish. He won't have a large barrel. He'll have a small barrel of salted fish if you really want it.
No, I don't. I just wanted a barrel of fish so we could salt it.
Gotcha.
Oh, there isn't a throwing skill anymore.
I was going to say,
No.
That's been taken.
Yeah,
out.
so it can be thrown with a successful athletics roll.
Cool.
Yeah, athletics combines an individual's coordination with learned skills such as climbing, jumping, balancing, biking, wrestling, skiing, swimming, throwing, catching. And characters who rely on physical power more than coordination can take the brute edge to link this to a strength skill to strength instead of agility. Okay. Anything else you want from the trader? Otherwise, shall we drive ourselves down towards...
Can I get a 10-foot pole?
You can definitely get... it doesn't have a 10-foot pole. He has a 5.5-foot Chinaman.
Yay!
He didn't have any dynamite then. Just
And the Chinaman's called one fucking stick. Did he have any dynamite? Did somebody want dynamite? Okay, let's have a look.
Well, I was just wondering because it may be a.
someone wanted it last week, but I can't remember who.
That will have been the doctor.
I couldn't find any.
He's a trader that is supplying a mining camp. So yes, he has a box of dynamite that you can see at the back of his wagon, but it does seem to have probably a set of crossed swords on the box, and it's partially covered with some cloth.
I'm not particularly bothered if it's been stolen from the cavalry.
And lots of pillows in case it goes bang.
As long as it's not been there for a while and it's sweating, so that it's unstable, well, then yeah, I don't care where it's come from.
I just wonder whether it's worth getting some dynamite.
Fill it full of salt.
The dynamite might actually do some damage to it. I think the salt might weaken it, and then the damage, the actual.
To be fair, we don't want to be harming this thing. We want to let it do its job first, and then do it. You know, could fill the bodies full of salt.
Yeah, we could fill the bodies full of dynamite.
Yeah, we don't need to actually go down to the swamp anymore. We just fill it with dynamite and set it off.
Right.
No evidence.
We've not seen this thing. It's probably about 3 foot tall.
Okay, if it's 3 foot, it's insubstantial because it's a spirit.
That was a good idea to have dynamite. You don't have to use it.
Yeah, we're looking at the doctor when we say that.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm shaking my head.
Dynamite with ghost rock stuck to it.
That sounds like a waste of ghost rock. But dynamite makes everything better.
It certainly solves all your problems.
One way or the other.
He has a total of 24 sticks available for sale.
Holy shit.
Well, the crate probably held 50 or so.
Are they singles or are they wrapped in bundles?
He has four sticks at $15 a bundle.
4 sticks.
Yeah, 4 sticks. He has two sticks at $8 a bundle, and then the rest are singles, which I think is 2.
It's normally it's 1357.
Well, according to this book, it's 1248.
Maybe it's copyrighted.
I think but in the rules in here, I think it's 1357, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
So he will have 3 5s. That's 15. He will have 2 6s. That's 21, and then 3 1s.
There's some big bags there.
2 3s, you mean?
Yeah.
This trader's really good. He's dynamite, isn't he?
Look, he's guaranteed to blow your mind.
With a name like Dick, he's guaranteed to blow something.
So do we want to take a 5, a 3, and all the ones?
That sounds good.
Oh, they can be 2, 4, and 6. The blast is based upon the number of sticks.
Yeah. Well, assuming it's 5 3s and 1s.
So actually, in the rule book, it says 1 to 2 sticks, 3 to 4 sticks, 5 to 6 sticks, and there's no 7.
Okay.
Oh no! Each additional stick gives you a +2 to the damage.
It's going to be me.
Okay, right. So 1 stick would be 2d6 damage. 2 sticks is 2d6 +2.
So it's all 2d6 plus however many extra sticks.
Yeah, so it's +2 for each additional stick. So 1, 3, 5, 6, 3, 6, 4d6, and then the extra stick is +2.
Yeah.
Oh, so a 2d6 would do 2d6 plus 4. Is what we're saying.
Sorry, 2 sticks would be 2d6 +2. And
So
then
sorry, no, 3 sticks. Three sticks would do 2d6 plus.
flat. 3d6 flat.
Oh, okay.
And a large blast template. And the range gets shorter the more sticks due to weight.
Heavier, yeah.
Yeah. The rate is The range is 3 yards, and the blast radius is
It's
1.7 miles.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. So
It's like a thermal
5, 6
detonator in
bombs
Star
a
Wars.
stick the radius goes up. So if you want indiscriminate damage, you go for the 7 sticks.
Yeah.
If you want precision strikes, well, not too much collateral damage, you go for the 1 to 2 sticks.
Okay. So just
How much were how much were the 3 sticks?
the 3 sticks are $11 a go, a stick,
Okay.
a bundle.
Okay, I'll pick 2 of those up.
Yeah.
And how much were the singles?
$4 a bundle.
I'll pick 3 of those up.
Okay. Give me a sec. I will track them. So Blake is walking around with dynamite.
Might be jumping.
I'm going to give this to somebody that has used it before. He's good at throwing, because I am not. But I think it's a good idea to have them to cause maximum damage in a short amount of time, just in case the salt's
So you're getting
a pile of bullshit. Two
threes.
2 3s
2 3s. Okay.
and 3 1s.
2 3s and 3 1s. Okay. Nice.
So who can throw and who can use dynamite?
I've got D6 in throw, but I haven't used dynamite.
I've got a D6 and throw, and I love dynamite. Just
There we go.
it's a chemical reaction.
We have a winner.
Well, I am all for giving those 2 3 sticks over to you then. So
Right, 2 3 sticks. I'll do that. Drop
Yep.
that on there.
Just delete them off your sheet, Toronto.
Yeah, I'm quite smart, and I know that I don't want those sticks anywhere near me. Just in case I do something wrong.
They go to the large blast template.
That just feels like it's going to get really, really, really messy.
So how big is that template so I know how far to keep away from you?
Let me. So you're on this map, so I can show you on.
It's a 6-inch diameter, 3-inch radius.
that's not bad.
I'd like to ask Trader Jack how much a Gatling gun is.
So that's a medium. That's a large,
Jesus.
and that's a small.
It's okay.
Okay.
Now, if you put a carrot in its nose,
There's 15-foot radius then.
Yeah.
You don't have to be that accurate with it.
bigger bada boom.
As long as it's in the right direction and away from us.
Okay. Shall we continue?
Yes, time's moving on. We don't want to go in through there when it's when the sun's going down.
Okay. So it's going to take you about another hour to get back to the camp. Again, the horses continue to be skittish and unsettled, and that gets more obvious the closer to the original mining camp as possible. You kind of go through the mining camp, and then you kind of tie up your horses and then follow the trail down. And as you're doing so, Blake is pointing out all the globules of blood, the torn tissue and things. Give me survival rolls if you wish.
Are these miners' horses? The miners' horses, by any chance?
Give me a survival roll.
Yeah, we haven't got survival.
I've loaded 2 of these salt shotgun shells into my shotgun.
Okay. Tom, You can't make sense of what the skin is. I mean, it looks like human skin to you, to be fair. It doesn't look like horse flesh. But that's not what kind of grabs your attention. What grabs your attention is the bare feet, the bare footprints, the barefoot footprints that are kind of tracking down this trail.
Bare as in
Human?
without clothing, as opposed to bare as in Wrath.
Correct. Bare as in naked.
But human size or in shape?
Human size and shape.
I wonder if we found our missing person.
Possibly. Are they bloody at all, or just
The footprints, no, they're not bloody.
okay? I'll point
The
them
other
out.
thing, the other thing that you get is they are spaced. There are multiple sets, and they are spaced as though they're running. And here and there, you can see worn moccasin prints amongst them.
So one-legged man.
Okay. So somebody without barefoot is chasing someone with moccasin prints.
Warm
Effectively,
moccasins,
all
which
the
is
way
our
around.
person, isn't it?
Yeah.
You get
Is Angry Clouds with us?
he has stopped at the edge of the camp.
I'm just going to shout him over to have a look over here at the tracks.
Okay. He comes over, leaves all your horses with his people. And he kind of comes over, he gets down on one knee and he just looks at them for a few moments and he nods and he says, those are most likely Never Smiles?
Yes.
Yeah.
Never Smiles. Yeah. Those are most likely Never Smiles footprints.
Can you tell whether he's chasing someone or someone's chasing him? I could spot these, but I can't make out.
Who
Doesn't
would
tell
be
me much,
who would
does it?
walk around barefoot?
Whether it's the spirit or whatever.
He shakes his head. Don't know about unless it's somebody else that was in the camp that fled. He does not know who would go barefoot. In terms of the it looks to him like the things were chasing Never Smiles.
Right.
Which he says could be a positive sign that he's still alive.
Yeah. Let's pick up the pace if we're going to find him then.
Yeah.
Did we ascertain the organic matter that's sort of on the branches of plants and things? Do we determine whether that was human or was it something else?
Need a healing check from somebody.
Yeah, I'll do that.
See, I've got something in my head that's
Badly.
I don't think Tom would know.
Well, it's a success. The skin is quite soft and it looks more likely to be human, probably, well, not probably, definitely white man, as opposed to Indian or animal.
Did we ascertain that there's only 2 people? There's not packs for 3 people in this camp.
And so how many bedrolls are in the tent?
2 people.
Right. Maybe one of the murderers that killed these 2 guys maybe one got too close to this thing.
Do we know anything about the supernatural world yet?
You know rumours of it. It's whether at this point your character believes in them.
Yeah.
I would say at this point you've not had any first-hand experience.
I've got some small experience on it.
I've got an arcana background.
Yeah, I've got a cult.
Arcane background,
That's
sorry.
what I was thinking. Whether we'd know of specific creatures or something.
There are tales of the dead coming back. And yes, so actually, you would have. You will know of things called the Harrowed. The Harrowed are people who have often got unfinished business and end up coming back to life to do something.
Oh, we had plenty of tales on the ranch. That was for certain.
You'll have heard of Manitous, which are supposed to be spirit creatures that come and take over bodies. So yes, you would know in loose terms that there are claims that horrors exist, abominations, walking dead, wall crawlers, hanging judges. These have been reported very much in away from civilization and kind of more isolated ranches and things rather than in amongst like towns and stuff. But yeah, you know of the horrors.
Okay, my holy symbol is now on the outside of my shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Manitous that I actually deal with.
It's Manitous that you deal with, yeah. And there's this about this area in general. There is an underlying sense of creepiness about it. Yeah.
That's not just because Doc's got Ghost Rock and Dynamite, is it?
Well, it's partly to do with Ghost Rock and Dynamite, but yes.
Where he's hiding the dynamite, that's the problem.
That's the problem, yeah. Got to get through customs.
Do you remember that bit in Aliens where only one of them had all the ammunition on them?
Oh, God, yeah. Bigger, bada boom.
Okay. So you continue following the trail downwards. Gradually, it starts to level out. As it levels out, it becomes a lot more boggy and wet underfoot. As you kind of clear the ramp down and the path down, and you kind of hit this definite sort of bog area, there's a couple of things that jump out at you. First and foremost, you see not too far away from you what appears to be a couple of men who are poking around the periphery of the bog. One of them carries, or one of them is stood underneath the canvas of a camera that's pointing out over the bog itself, and you can hear sort of quite a heavy accent, Italian by the sounds of things. 3, 2, 1, and then the camera flashes, and a dark-haired man appears from underneath the covering. There is another man who's kind of wearing what appears to be a white suit, sort of white and black shoes, a cheap duster, straw hat. And kind of, as you kind of come down, he sort of turns and, in a very strong Irish accent, hello, my friends. It's clear we've got some skullduggery here, and I'd appreciate if you didn't disturb the crime scene.
witnesses.
So this is at the camp, is it?
Sorry,
Or is it
this is
Edge of the swamp.
No, sorry, no. Let me rewind. This is Sorrentine's correct. This is at the edge of the camp.
Right, okay.
So as you've come back into the camp before you've gone down the track, I've got things a little bit out of sync here. You can see that in the camp there's this man in this white suit, straw hat, and this other guy under a camera.
Yeah. But they're just looking at an empty camp because we've moved the bodies.
They are, yes, but there is still sort of blood stains on the
Blood.
floor and stuff like that. So they're taking photos, and he's the one in the straw hat is kind of poking around, and he's looking under the the tent and stuff like that. Gentlemen, Lacey O'Malley, tombstone epitaph.
Fucking report.
How the fuck did he get here?
Well, it's funny you should
Like
ask.
flies on shit.
I was passing down through the camp. Well, actually, I was passing through Deadwood, and there was a couple of miners there that had said that earlier on today they'd passed a camp up in the hills. I managed to get in directions, and here I am. So, what brings you here?
I shoot him.
You shoot him. Okay. What brings you gentlemen here?
We're heading that way.
What way?
Point through the camp.
We
I point through the camp.
You've heard of a strange creature that is in the swamp down that yonder pass. Why am I speaking like this?
I'm just gonna ride on past him and carry on.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Well, that sounds interesting. Come along, Mario. Bring the camera. Let's follow our good friends here.
You were saying
story to be had.
Yeah, you were saying something about skullduggery.
Indeed.
How so?
Oh, look, there's blood here, and this morning, the miners that I met in town suggested there were 2 dead bodies here covered in arrows. I'm not seeing any sign of the arrows or the bodies, and I presume they've been moved or eaten. I'm just trying to make head nor tail of the scene.
Oh, creatures that eat bodies known to eat arrows as well?
Not that I've heard of. I would have thought those arrows would have been here.
Is there any chance your miners could have been drunk?
Miners are always drunk, good sir, always drunk.
So what they see is not always accurate.
Very possible. Well, you say that there's something further down here, and he points to the trail after where Billy's already gone down.
Hope you can defend yourself if you're going to follow us.
We were told by
We won't be defending it.
some Indian friends that there's something living in the swamp.
Oh, well, if you don't mind, I'll stay out your way, and I will.
Do they have horses?
No. Yes, they do. Yes. Yeah.
Just watch your horses, because it seems to be attracted to horses. And if you hear a noise, don't go towards it.
So you go down the trail. You discover the footprints. You discover the moccasins. You put 2 and 2 together in terms of the order of things. You continue going down the trail. Gradually, the slope becomes covered in leaves and pine needles, but here and there, you can definitely still see the moccasin prints of what you are now assuming to be Never Smiles, and along with it, the gory detritus of the bodies. And that's the odd thing. These bodies, the trail just follows. It's hard to tell whether it's Never Smiles' blood and remains or whether it's something else. But as you get down to about 50 yards down the slope, sort of further down, you can see a series of horse skulls mounted on the tree. Many of them are old and covered in moss and grime.
Is Lacey still with us?
He is riding behind you about 10, 15 yards. And every so often you can hear him directing Mario to take photos, which means that they get further and further behind you as they're taking those photos.
Yeah, I will point out the blood and gore. I'll say, maybe this is what happened to your miners.
Fascinating. And he's got a notepad and he's writing and directing photos.
They are.
He appears to be armed for def. Yes, both of them are armed. Pistols.
It's a bit worrying because we've got skulls mounted on trees. I'm waiting for a body in the being hung from a branch, and I'm waiting for somebody to shout, "Get to the chopper!"
Get to the chopper! Just remember, if it bleeds, we can kill it.
It's the clicking noise.
It is.
As the path bottoms out, there's caught myself back up again now. You see, just in front of you, the edge of the swamp, two the trail leads down into a bowl between the hills. This muddy path winding between large pools of brown stagnant water, which is kind of rippling from the rain that you see. Bones lie everywhere, and at the very head of this trail, two gory carcasses, horse carcasses, lie sort of just off the path. Rib cages ripped and pulled apart, their innards missing, but much of the beast's head and flanks still remain.
It's all black again, by the way.
Thought I ticked the right boxes. That better?
Nope.
Nope.
Nope. That's made no difference either, has it?
Nope.
Right, something's going wrong here.
Ah, there we go. Oh, nice. It's animated.
Yep. The horses are incredibly difficult to control. Can everybody make a riding roll, please?
We can see the markers on the thingy, by the way. Your links.
Oh, you can see the links, can you? You shouldn't be
Yeah.
able to.
Can you?
Yeah, I can see posse ends here to where we are.
I thought we'd left the horses with the Indians.
Oh, you've left the horses with the Indians, haven't you?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, no riding rolls then. No riding rolls. Would you have instructed Numpty Bollocks to leave his horse with the Indians?
No.
Well, I told him as he came down to watch his horses, but if he's sending him down, that's fair enough.
If he hasn't, then as soon as I see the horse, I'll tell him to send his horses back with his.
Has that disappeared now?
No, I can still see him.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I'm
No
not
worries.
sure what you're seeing.
Little books, little markers like pins.
Yeah, there's nothing associated with them. They're not actual journals, so if you click on them, it doesn't make much of a difference.
Yeah.
Okay, so that means this is going to happen.
I'm going to climb off Tom's back because I'm rubbish at riding.
I wasn't riding either. Yeah, it's strange. I can't see the pens, so we've got different settings by the looks of things.
Yeah. And I might know why in a
The
second.
thing is, don't sell carry over, do they? Because you set me up as a GM in the other game.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. If I wonder if you've got a GM setting on here that you shouldn't have.
So you're going to survive.
No, the cameraman all survives.
All right, let's take a look. Oh, actually, that's not so bad. So suddenly, from behind you, kind of bursting through from behind you, comes the sound of hooves as one of the two reporters' horses kind of barrels through you and then out into the swamp itself. Probably gets out over sort of I can't ping over towards the middle here, unless anybody's trying to stop it.
Can I use a riding roll to try and grab it and?
Of course you can.
Oh,
Of course you can.
either that or ranching, whichever's best for you.
Yeah, I'm not for all that's gone.
Nope.
No, it's too quick. It passes by you very quickly. Okay. What are you going to do?
Any sign
I have-
of
See what comes out to eat it.
Yeah, exactly. I've got my shotgun ready, and I'm scanning where the horse is going.
Yeah, I will draw. I will take a stick of dynamite out and a match and keep it under the match and under my duster.
Okay.
Get my rifle out.
I'm getting the pouch with the salt out.
I am saying the Lord's Prayer while I'm doing that, by the way.
Okay. You would have thought they would have done this. There you go. That's better. Okay. Give me notice rolls, but at -2.
Oh, I forgot to get -2, sorry.
I'm going to use a Benny.
Use a Benny. We are almost at the end of the evening, gentlemen.
I was going to say I'm going to use the Benny as well. I'll click it. I'll click notice roll separately, and then I'll take my Benny off manually.
Okay.
Just so I can click that -2. Woo!
All right. So, Tom, you notice a couple of things. Over here, there is a figure, appears to be dressed in Indian clothing. So the kind of the smock and the trousers is about halfway up the tree, kind of hanging onto a branch, and he's kind of waving at you and putting his finger over his mouth.
Okay.
The next thing that you notice, the next thing that happens though, is your eyes are drawn to two bloody masses of flesh down at the bottom of this tree, which seem to suddenly jump up and turn towards the horse, which begins to scream in fear. I would like you all now to make a standard notice check, please. Okay, Billy, do you want to spend a Benny? There we go. Okay, perfect. All right. We're going to call it a night here as these two bloody masses rise up, turn, and start to actually, rather surprisingly, they run towards you a little bit quicker than you expect them. This is what they look like.
Okay.
You
Nice.
are not surprised, and so next week we will start the session with standard going to initiative.
Rah.
Gosh. Sanity rolls. That was awesome, buddy. Thank you very
You're
much.
welcome.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's good.
Legends.
Yeah. Lovely maps.
So we will bring this. Yeah, don't get excited about the maps. This map came with the actual Foundry module, so mine aren't animated like this. Actually, I could do this because they're just that's not difficult to do. We will bring this little chapter to a conclusion next week.
Fantastic.
A game next week.
Okay.
Hook 'em up.